In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a stop loss on the BTCC spot market using a trigger order on the mobile app. This is a segment from my BTCC complete step-by-step beginner tutorial. So I'll be sure to leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might be interested in checking that out. Also, if you haven't already created an account on BTCC for whatever reason, I left you a link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment down below. If you create an account using that link, you'll be saving 15% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. You'll also be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. This video is not financial advice and is for educational purposes only. Aside from all that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Let's get into the video. All right, I'm going to show you how you can set a stop loss by using a trigger order on the spot market. So again, the first thing we want to do is you want to tap on your pairings and choose the asset that you hold on account that you wish to set a stop loss for. Obviously, you can't set a stop loss unless you already own the asset. So I'm fine demonstrating with Bitcoin, so I'll be leaving that as it is. Next, we'll make sure we're set to sell up at the top there of the order panel, tap on sell, and then we're going to tap right here, so in my case where it says limit order. Then down below, you have two options. You have trigger limit and trigger market. I'll demonstrate with a trigger market first, and then I'll take some time and explain how a trigger limit works. So we're going to be tapping here on trigger market. Now I've configured the order panel for a trigger market order. So the next thing I need to do is choose a price point that I wish to set the stop loss at. And I can do that by tapping where it says stop price. Now, when you look in the mid price of the order book, we see Bitcoin's at 78,349. Let's imagine, just for fun, that I want to set a stop loss just below 78,000. So what I'll do is I'll tap here on stop price, and let's go 77,990, just for the sake of demonstration. Next, I need to choose how much of the Bitcoin I want to sell if that price point gets hit. So what I'll do is I'll just use the slider bar here. I'll slide it up to 100%. And now I'm ready to set my stop loss. I'll tap here on sell. Now I can confirm the order details are what I intended, and I can see that they are. So I can see the stop price is at 77,990. So if the price of Bitcoin falls and hits that price point, my Bitcoin is going to sell immediately at the best available price off of the order book around that price point. So this looks good. I'm going to tap here on confirm. Now I've placed that stop loss. So if we scroll down and if we tap on open orders, I'm already set to that, but if you weren't, tap on that, then tap here on trigger orders. And here's where you'll see your stop loss. So if the price of Bitcoin suddenly hits 77,990, that's going to trigger an order to sell my Bitcoin immediately at the best available price off of the order book. That'll stay there till it either fills or I cancel it. So if you want to cancel it, just tap here on cancel order and confirm. And I just got rid of that stop loss, just like that. Now I'll quickly explain a trigger limit order. So again, make sure you're set to sell on your order panel, then tap here where it says trigger market. Then we'd come down here and tap where it says trigger limit. So what this gives you the ability to do is, first of all, choose a price point as your condition to trigger a stop loss to sell, just like we did with the market order. So I can see on the mid price of the order book, Bitcoin's at 78,300 approximately. Let's imagine I want to set up a trigger price at just below 78,000 again. So I'm going to tap here on stop price and I'll do 77,990 again, just like this. Now I need to choose a price point that I wish to sell the asset at. Now, the way this works is it gives you the ability to tell BTCC what an acceptable price point is for your asset. So you're basically saying to the platform, hey, if my stop price gets hit and this price point or better isn't available, don't sell my assets whatsoever. In crypto, assets can get moving very quickly in high market volatility scenarios. Remember that a stop loss is based on the order book. So if there isn't a lot of orders sitting on the order book, which is also known as a thin order book, there can be what's known as slippage. So if the price of an asset is moving really fast and it hits your stop price, you might actually get filled at a really low dollar amount because there wasn't very many orders on the order book to begin with. Now with something like Bitcoin, there's quite a bit of liquidity, so it's not usually a huge issue. But with this order type, you're able to tell BTCC that, hey, if that stop price gets hit, here's my bottom dollar acceptable price point. If that's not available in the order book or better, then don't sell it at all. So this is where we get to choose what the limit price is going to be, what that acceptable dollar amount is. So we'll tap here on price And just for the sake of demonstration, I'll go ahead and put in 77,250. So I'm basically telling BTCC that if 77,990 gets hit, either sell my Bitcoin for 77,250 or better. But if the price somehow gets below 77,250, don't sell it at all. In some cases, traders might like to wait for a bounce, or they just think to themselves, you know what, if I can't get at least this much for it, then I might as well just hold it. Now, a quick tip with this, make sure you leave enough breathing room between your stop price and your limit price. Remember, like I said before, if an asset gets moving really fast and it's dumping to the downside, it can get below your acceptable price faster than BTCC can get that order through for you on the order book. And a good way to mitigate the risk of that is just making sure to leave enough breathing room between your stop price and the price point of your limit price. So now that I have this configured, I need to choose how much of the asset I wish to sell. If my stop price gets hit, I'll just use the slider bar up to 100% and I'll tap here on sell. Now I'll confirm the details are what I intended, and they are. So the stop price here, if Bitcoin falls and hits 77,990, BTCC is going to sell my Bitcoin for 77,250 or better. If there's a better price point available on the order book, when my stop price gets hit, I'll actually sell the Bitcoin for a higher price point. So this looks good. I'm going to tap here on confirm. And I just placed that trigger limit order. Again, if we scroll down, and if you're not already set to open orders, just tap on that, then tap where it says trigger orders, and here's where you'll see your stop loss. If you want to cancel it, just tap on cancel order and confirm. And see you later, alligator. There goes the stop loss. So that's how you can set a stop loss on the spot market by both using a stop market or a stop limit. If you use a stop market, when your price point gets hit, BTCC is just going to simply sell your assets at the best available price on the order book when that stop loss gets hit. So remember, if you're trading an altcoin that doesn't have much liquidity, you might get a price point for it that you don't desire. So if you want to avoid that, you can use a stop limit that tells BTCC that, hey, if my stop price gets hit, sell it for this much or better if it's available on the order book when my stop price gets hit. If I can't get at least this much for my asset, then don't sell it at all. So that's how you can use a stop loss on the spot market. And there you have it. That's how you can set up a stop loss on the spot market using the mobile app. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also, feel free to check out my other BTCC tutorials, which I've put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.